part 2 for the Google training for Reynolds Middle School for Docs and Drive. Ryan Wagner here with you. For this video, navigating Google Drive, how to access Google Drive, a walkthrough of the layout, organization best practices. That's basically where we're going. So you already know to go to drive.google.com. When you first get in there, in My Drive, your setup is like this. So drive.google.com. The layout is as follows. You have two different types of views, but I prefer this view. Up here is your apps, if you didn't already know that, but I'm pretty sure most of us do, and there's all the different things you might use. This view, the advantage to the list view is obviously that it gives the date last opened and the owner. Sometimes when I'm on the mobile app, I have trouble figuring out, let's say I'm looking at, but with this view, list view as it's called, I can see who made it and when it was handed in, etc. You can go back to grid view. Grid view is easier for organization. Once again, on my left menu, whenever I want to go back to my home, it's really called My Drive. Documents that somebody share with me, or if somebody mentions in passing, hey, I shared that to you, a rubric between myself and Cordero, that's in shared with me, and I can look through all that. If I was working on something, but it's not showing up for some reason, I could always click on recent, and it would open up things I've recently done. So I'm going to go back to Drive. Also search for something. When I click on the search, it tells me I can click on the type of file to save time on my search, and then I can actually, I usually type in Joyce Fiedler because for whatever reason in my Drive, the outline for this course is not showing up except for if I type in the source owner's name. So we've talked about how to access Google Drive, a walkthrough of the layout, and now it's time for organization best practices, which is kind of ironic because it's coming from Ryan Wagner. However, I'm pretty on top of things, especially in Google Drive because I'm just a techie, as they call it. All right, so we want to do creating folders and organizing your docs. Yeah, this is true. Number one says that you used to have Microsoft Office Suite, perhaps, and you would save it to My Documents. You're saving everything in one location, and it can go from computer to computer, obviously, and not have to use this drive. So in new, I could put a new folder, upload files from my computer that let's say I just typed something in Word and I go, you know what, I really should have on a drive, and I upload it. Folder upload, new Google Doc, new Google Sheet, new Google Slide, or other things that'll be in the later classes. So let's say we make a new file. Okay. Sorry. Now you have to make sure it says all changes saved in Drive. There's no more saving things needed. No files, save as, pick a location on your hard drive, or your flash drive, E or whatever, just you have to make sure it says all changes saved in Drive, which can be a problem because sometimes it gets stuck, or your internet drops off at Starbucks or something, and then it's saying saving with 3 periods, and then you just have to sign back into the internet, and then it'll save. Okay. So now I go back to my Drive, and Flying Eagles Fly should be here. Eagles chant, right? So I can color code folders and store important files and folders. Let me do that. I'm going to create a new folder called parody stuff. And they don't alphabetize immediately. You can push the down arrow and make it alphabetize. No, it goes by last opened. I don't know. Oh, I can change that for the alphabetical. Okay. Parody stuff is my folder. Change color. Now it's green. Just that little folder is green. When I open up that folder, there's nothing in it yet. So I'm going to put the Eagles chant. Everything has now been alphabetized. Eagles chant. I right click and I push move to. Obviously my Drive. And I find the folder. And color coding is nice because it stands out in the shirt. Not into that. Yep. Clicked out of it. Hold on. Hide this. All right, move to parody stuff, right? The green folder. This is in my way. Probably happened to you too. There we go. Move to. And it's the blue button down here. Third time's a charm. Here we go. Okay. Back in my Drive, parody stuff. Eagles chant is now in there. We have to organize the views next. Obviously, I already mentioned list view, grid view. This is grid view, and it's good for dragging in items. This is an old Egypt file, so now we could take it to Egypt. This is a song for this year, so this I could put into parodies because I guess it could be a parody. I have 2 parodies. Well, let's get more organized. Come on, Wagner. And then you can just do this to make sure that things up, these are SGOs, so they go here. I'm just dragging and dropping. You could also do the right click move to. It's just quicker. There you go. So that's the benefit of grid view. List view, we already said what the benefit is. And then you can change last open to last modified by me or last modified. which didn't seem to work. But then you might have folders from previous years that you need to get rid of, because you don't need 2014-15 period 1. It's time for me to get my act together with that. Now, these can be removed. There you go. That takes care of things and views. Using shared with me, recent, and starred. Okay. I look at shared with me. And I see this essay needs to be graded still, right? I can put a star on it, but it's one of the outstanding things. Like, oh man, you know, I just got a phone call. I'm not gonna be able to grade this right now. Put a star on it, and now I'll just close it up and I'll get to it later. Now it has a star because that means I need to grade it still. So that kind of helps me stay organized with all the things that are flying in, because if you have an essay due by Sunday at midnight and they fly in like this, it can get pretty hairy. Final things. I already showed moving items and folders in Drive. Deleting items is pretty easy. I also deleted folders, where you can do the same by right-clicking on files. Utilizing view details to identify changes to your documents. Okay. I take one of my documents, and I make changes. Then, what am I doing? All changes saved in Drive I click on. Then it'll show me when this happened. I had to click on all changes saved in Drive. I don't do this too often, so that's why I keep, sometimes it's like tough to come back to you. I clicked on all changes saved in Drive, and then I can see the original, and then today what I did. This is good to, you know, reflect or change back, but also this is something you're going to have to look at. And when students do work and work together in then one file, and then you might have to go back and find different versions and help them. If the owner is the one who can look at this revision history and then go back and change it. Sometimes one student will delete another's work, and then you have to, you know, go back into the owner's profile and restore the previous version. Sometimes you have to actually copy and paste somebody's work, because if you do go back to the previous version and help their teammate out, you delete their work. So you have to copy and paste their work temporarily, restore the older version with the student's work. It's pretty crazy. I'm sure you can find one of your techies in the building to help you if that ever happens. That does it for section 2 of the Google training for our workshop. And I look forward to our next video and future videos. Hope I helped you. And we'll see you next time.